Neighbor kept parking to my driveway, so I had his car towed every single day for a month. I live in this cramped neighborhood where parking's already a nightmare, and everyone's got like a strip of concrete that barely fits one car. My house sits on the corner, so my driveway's kinda wide and visible from the street. My neighbor Kevin lived 3 houses down and had his own driveway, but he started parking in mine because it was closer to his girlfriend's place or something. At first, I figured it was just a mistake. Maybe he was drunk. Maybe he got confused in the dark. But then it kept happening. I left a polite note on his windshield the first time. "Hey, this is my driveway. Could you please move your car?" Nothing. Second time, I knocked on his door. He answered in his boxers, scratching his belly, and goes, "Oh yeah, sorry dude, I'll move it." But he didn't move it until like noon the next day. By the 3rd week, I was done being nice. This guy would roll up at like 2 a.m., park right in the middle of my driveway, and I couldn't get my own car out to go to work. I had to call in late twice because of this moron. My boss was getting annoyed, and I was getting desperate. That's when I discovered the city's towing policy. Turns out, if someone parks on your private property without permission, you can have them towed immediately. No warnings needed. The tow company guy, Danny, explained it all to me. 24/7 service, and they'd be there within an hour of my call. So I started my campaign. Every single time Kevin parked in my driveway, I called the tow truck. The first time, Danny showed up at 3 a.m. Kevin's car got hooked up and dragged away while he was probably fast asleep. I watched from my bedroom window, feeling like I'd just won the lottery. Kevin came storming over the next morning, pounding on my door. "Where's my car, man? Someone stole my car!" I told him it got towed for parking on private property. He looked at me like I'd just told him aliens landed. "But it's just a driveway." "Yeah, Kevin, my driveway." Getting his car back cost him $150 plus storage fees. You'd think that would be enough to teach him a lesson, right? Wrong. This genius parked there again 2 days later, so I called Danny again, and again, and again. Kevin's car got towed 7 times in the first 2 weeks. By the 3rd week, Danny and I were practically best friends. He'd show up, hook up Kevin's beat-up Honda, and we'd chat about the weather while Kevin's car disappeared into the night. The funniest part was watching Kevin try to figure out what was happening. He started parking at different times, thinking maybe it was some random theft thing. He tried parking further back in the driveway, like that would somehow make it less illegal. One time, he even left a note on his own windshield that said, "Please don't steal. Owner lives nearby," like that was gonna stop a tow truck. His girlfriend broke up with him after the 2nd week. Apparently, having to pick him up from the impound lot at weird hours wasn't her idea of romance. Can't say I blamed her. By week 4, Kevin was getting creative. He started parking on the street in front of my house, which was totally legal but super inconvenient for him. Then he tried parking in my neighbor Janet's driveway. Janet's this 70-year-old lady who definitely wasn't having it. She called the cops on him. The breaking point came when Kevin tried to block me in by parking behind my car in my own driveway. I guess he figured if he trapped my car, I couldn't call the tow truck because they couldn't get his car out either. Wrong again, Kevin. Turns out tow trucks have this thing called a winch. Danny showed up with a bigger truck, hooked Kevin's car from the front, and just dragged it right over my lawn and onto the street before loading it up. My grass got a little torn up, but watching Kevin's face when he saw the tire tracks across my yard was absolutely priceless. After 31 days and 19 tow jobs, Kevin finally got the message. He started parking in his own driveway and actually said sorry when he saw me checking my mail. Those 19 tows cost him almost $3,000 total. I felt a little bad until I remembered all those mornings I was late for work because of his selfishness.